Good morning children, welcome back to online class, history class. In the last class, what are the things we learned? Once we can recollect it, after that today's portion. Okay, so the last class I discussed about the Great Rebellion of 1857. Yes, that is given in the page number 78, 7.2 under that. Okay, Great Rebellion we learned, is it? So Great Rebellion as well as that peasants revolt. Yes, peasants revolt under crown. Yes, peasants revolt under crown also we learned. Is it? Under that only indigo revolt I discussed you. Is it? The next what is given? Yes, under that indigo revolt what is given in the sense B part. Yes, seventh lesson you know very well. Seventh lesson history part, anti-colonial movements on the birth of nationalism. Under that, yes, what are the things we are going to discuss, the first of all I am going to tell about the Deccan riots. Okay, Deccan riots in the sense riot, what is the meaning, rebellion. Okay, rebel, purachi. Yes, so which year it was occurred? In the sense 1875 it was occurred. It's a Deccan riots. Okay, otherwise we can tell rebel. Yes, a rebel in, otherwise a revolt in Deccan. Revolt in Deccan in the year 1875. It was against the money lenders. Okay, it was against the money lenders as well as the British people. Okay, so heavy taxation. Yes, so the British people, they levied taxes upon the Indian peasants. So the peasants were suffered. Yes, the peasants were suffered. So in the taxation, heavy taxation ruined. What is meant by ruined? It's totally destroyed, otherwise destructed the agriculture. Famine deaths increased. So what is meant by famine? Extreme scarcity of food. Okay, panjam. Yes, so extreme scarcity of food, that is the meaning of famine. Famine deaths increased. The first riot, yes, the first riot against the money lenders in the Deccan area, yes, it was occurred in May 1875 in Supa. Supa is a village name. It's located near Pune. Yes, it's located near Pune. Yes, similar cases nearly, like these cases, the money lender problem. Yes, nearly such a cases, it's, that 30 villages. It's nearly 30 villages people, they were suffered a lot in Pune as well as Ahmednagar, like they are telling. Okay, the rioting, yes, the riot in the sense rebel was directed mostly against the Gujarat money lenders. Okay, Gujarat money lenders. Okay, so the under the British rule, okay, under the British rule, peasants, was forced to pay the revenue to the British government directly. They have to pay the taxes, revenue in the sense taxes. Okay, the Indians, the Indian farmers or vice agriculturists, they have to pay the taxes to the British government. Such a law was there. Okay, so that time, the British people, they were passed another one law. Under a new law, money lenders were allowed. Okay, they should collect the taxes. They should collect the taxes from the agriculturists, otherwise from the peasants. Okay, so such a law also they were passed. So as per the new law, money lenders were allowed. Okay, so they should allow to attach the mortgaged land. What is mean by mortgaged land? In the sense real property of the agriculturist. Okay, real property of the farmers. They can attach. Who can attach? Money lenders, they can attach. When they can attach, in the sense the farmers, if they couldn't pay the taxes properly to the government, money lenders can have the right to attach the lands of the peasants. Okay, yes, and auction it off. Okay, ஏலம் விட்டு கொள்ளலாம். Okay, ஏலம் விட்டு கொள்ளலாம், that's auction. Okay, yes, the next what is given in the sense auction in the sense, that's a meaning. This resulted in a transfer. So the number of, the farmers' lands, everything transferred to the money lenders. Here how it is given in the sense, the transfer of lands from the cultivators to the non-cultivating classes. So trapped in the vicious cycle of debt in the sense kadan. Okay, debt, and unable to pay the outstanding amount, the peasants was forced to left the cultivation. The forced to left in the sense they have to stop the cultivation. Okay, so because they have no lands, even everything it goes to whom? Money lenders. Okay, so that was the reason for the Deccan riots in the year 1875. Okay, so this much only it is given. The next what is given in the sense under that 7.4 in your book you can see lesson 7 page number 82. Lesson 7 history part lesson 7 is under that heading of 7.4 what are the things are given in the lower classes itself. You might have learned, I think so, the formation of the Indian National Congress. So who was responsible for that in the sense Alan Octavian Hume. Yes, Alan Octavian Hume was responsible for the formation of the INC, otherwise Indian National Congress. Yes, so Congress actually it was started in the year 1885. Yes, in your book 1870 to 1885 what are the things are given? Yes, it's given. Yes, first we can see that one. Okay, the rise of nationalism. Under that para what are the things are given in the sense the second half of the 19th century. Second half of the 19th century, what are the things happened in the sense the national political consciousness emerged. Yes, among the minds of the educated middle class. Yes, educated middle class. What emerged in the sense national political consciousness awakening. Okay, yes, national political awakening was emerged in the minds of the educated educated Indians. Okay, so Indian intelligentsia. What is the meaning of Indian intelligentsia in the sense educated middle class? Yes, in India educated middle class played a very important role in generating a national consciousness, otherwise national awakening, by exposing a large number of people in the idea of nation, nationalism. This is our country, this is our, yes, our country, our feelings, our nationalism. It's likewise, they were spreaded, okay, the ideas among the minds of the people. The flourishing, this is a flourishing in the sense growth of print media. Is print media, what is that in the sense newspapers. Okay, newspapers both in vernacular in the sense mother tongue. Okay, our mother tongue is Tamil, is it? So vernacular and in English played a very important role, otherwise significant role in the circulation of such ideas. So English that Indians educated middle class, they were spreaded the ideas of nation, nationalism, those ideas through the newspapers. Okay, both in vernacular languages as well as in English. Okay, vernacular, what is the meaning? Mother tongue. Okay, so next what is given? Okay, the next what is given in the sense here it is given the educated middle class, they are very small in number. It's the very few people only, they were working as a lawyers. Okay, they were working, this very small in number, like that it is given. Okay, the first line. Second line, what is given in the sense that they were working as a lawyers, journalists, government employees, teachers, art doctors. Educated middle class, like that I said, no. Yes, those people, they were very small in number. They were working as a lawyer, journalist, government employees, teachers, or doctors. So those people, they took initiative. What is the meaning in the sense that they started some association against the British? What are the associations they were started? Madras Native Association. Yes, in the year 1852. Yes, in the year 1852, they were started the Madras Native Association, as well as English India Association, Madras Mahajana Sabha, as well as Pune Sarvajanik Sabha. Yes, the Madras Presidency Association and many other institutions, otherwise, and many other organizations which was started by the educated middle class. Okay, educated middle class in India. The next para, what is given, the economic critic. What is mean by critic in the sense criticism? Okay, if we dislike, we used to pass number of commands against that, is it? So that is called as critic, that is called as critic, economic critic of colonialism. Okay, you know very well children, colonialism, that's a policy of maintaining and acquiring acquiring the territories, especially for exploitation, like that in the previous classes and all I told. Is it? So colonialism, what is the meaning? Acquiring. Acquiring in the sense getting the colonies, especially for exploitation. Yes, exploitation. Okay, so that is the meaning of colonialism. So critic in the sense, what is the meaning? Criticism. Yes, if we disliked some of someone's activities, we used to criticize in that area. Is it? So that is the criticism. So a critic. So one of the most significant contributions of early national Indian nationalist was the formulation of an economic critic of colonialism. So who are the personalities criticized the British policies? Dadabhai Nauroji. Yes, Dadabhai Nauroji, Justice Ranade, Ramesh Chandra Dutt. Those people, they were passed number of criticism about the colonialism, So they clearly understood what they understood. The prosperity of the British depends upon the economy of India. Economy of India. The prosperity, the growth of Britain, it's totally depends upon the economy of India, like that they were given the suggestion, criticism. Yes, they concluded that the colonialism was the main obstacle. Obstacle in the sense, what is the meaning? Tadai. Okay, main obstacle to the India's economic development. Yes, so Indian economy, it wasn't backward. Yes, who was responsible? So policy of British was responsible for this. Like that, who suggested? These people, Dadabhai Nauroji, Justice Ranade, and Ramesh Chandra Dutt, those personalities, they were passed number of criticism. Okay, then next what is given? Next what is given in the sense objectives. What are the objectives of the Indian National Congress? So this personality, everyone should see this one. A.O. Hume, Alan Octavian Hume. Yes, this person was responsible for the Indian National Congress in the year 1885. Yes, 1885 is the formation. Here it is given. Sorry. Indian National Congress, which was formed in the year 1885, is under the leadership of Alan Octavian Hume. Okay, so here it was the culmination of attempts by three groups of by the groups of educated Indians politically active in three presidencies. What are the presidencies are there in the sense? Bombay, yes, the Bombay, Madras as well as Calcutta. Bombay, Madras as well as Calcutta. These three presidencies are there. Then A.O. Hume, lent, what is the meaning? Give his services to facilitate the formation of the Congress. So, in the lower classes, you might have learned, I think so. Yes, the first Indian National Congress was meeting held at Bombay. Yes, how many members participated? In the sense, 72 delegates participated. Yes, under the leadership of W.C. Banerjee, like that we learned. Is it, children? Yes, so W.C. Banerjee, full form, what is that in the sense? Umesh Chandra Banerjee. Yes, Umesh Chandra Banerjee. So this person, yes, Umesh Chandra Banerjee, he was the first president of the Indian National Congress. Why they are telling first president like that? Indian National Congress, it's conducted its meeting at Bombay. Yes, in the Bombay area, they were conducted the meeting under the leadership of Umesh Chandra Banerjee. Yes. The next what is given in the sense, children, in the first session of the Indian National Congress, just before I told, is it in the month, December month 28th, yes, 28th December 1885, they were conducted. The objectives are there. Yes, objectives, what is the meaning? Aims are there was to develop and consolidate sentiments of the national unity. Yes, in order to consolidate. What is meant by consolidate? In the sense, strengthen. Yes, in order to strengthen the sentiments of the national unity, yes, the Indian National Congress was formed in India, but also professed loyalty to Britain. At the same time, they were loyal to Britain. Yes, loyal to Britain. With the help of the British only, they can do everything like that. They were taught in the initial stage. So that's what. So the technique included appeals. The first of all, they did not agitate against the British initial stage. Simply they were given the petitions. Okay, through petitions, through appeal, through delegations, they can they can get all the things in favor of India, like that they were taught in the initial stage. Okay, yes, the techniques included appeals, petitions, and delegations to Britain, all done within a constitutional frame. Okay, in the constitutional frame only we have to get all the things from the Britain, like that they were taught. Okay, so what are the demands are there? What are the objectives are there? Yes, that is given in your book, children. Page number, yes, page number 82 it is given. The first one, these are the aims of the Indian National Congress. Creation of the Legislative Council. Yes, at provincial as well as central. Provincial, what is the meaning in the sense? State level. Okay, provincial, what is the meaning? State level. So what was their request? What was their aim in the sense? On the state level as well as the central level, we must need that which one? Legislative Council. That was the first and foremost aim of the Indian National Congress. Second point, what is given? That increasing the number of elected members in the Legislative Council. First one, Legislative Council have to create. The next one, members have to appoint in the Legislative Council. The next thing, separating judiciary as well as executive functions. Then next one, reducing the military expenditure. Why they are telling like that? Reducing, when the war, if the Britain involved in the war, the Indians also must involve in the war, because we are under the control of the Britain, is it? So that time how to reduce the military expenditure. Then next one, reduction of home charges. What is meant by home charges? In the sense, taxes, reducing the taxes. Okay, that British government, they were levied, much taxes on the Indian peasants, Indian farmers. So that one, how to reduce, like that, telling. Who was telling? Congress was telling. Indian National Congress was telling. The next, what is given? Extension of trial. Okay, trial by jury. What is meant by jury? Jury in the sense judge. Okay, extension of trial by jury. Then holding civil service examination in India as well as in England. So why they are requesting, why they are demanding, the Congress people, in the sense, in the early stage, okay, before 1885, what happened in the sense, civil service examination and all conducted only in London. Okay, so Indians, they cannot attend that exams and all. So that's what one of the aim of the Indian National Congress. What is that? Holding in the sense that they should conduct the civil service examination in India as well as in England or London. Next one, police reforms. Then reconsideration of forest laws. Why they are telling like that? Very well, etc. That this lesson only, that peasants revolt and the tribal revolt, when I am teaching, I told the British people, they were cleared the forest. So the forest, the tribal people are living now. Those people were suffered. So here it is given reconsideration of forest laws. The last one, the promotion of Indian industries, and then end to unfair tariff. Unfair in the sense, the peasants, they have nothing they have, but even though they were paid the taxes. So unfair tariff, nyayamatra. Yes, that is unfair tariffs and excise duties, everything, they have to stop. The British government have to stop such a way, it was there. Which one was there? Objectives of the Indian National Congress. Okay, the next, what is given? Yes, next, what is given in the sense of militant nationalism. What is meant by militant? Militant in the sense, what? A terrorism. Okay, terrorism is a strong faith. Militant nationalism. The methods of moderate leaders failed. Yes, moderates. See, before that, I should tell one thing. The Congress, the Congress people, 1885, they were created. They were established. 1885, Indian National Congress formation was there. But in the year 1907, they were conducted the meeting at Surat. In Surat, the Congress people was divided into two. Yes, how in the sense militant people as well as the militant as well as moderate people. Extremist as well as the moderate people. Moderate people in the sense how their idea, how it was in the sense, through by giving the petition, by giving the appeal, yes, we can change the attitude of the British like that they were thought, who moderates. At the same time, extremist people, how they were thought, is, by action, yes, by taking the weapons, by taking the arms only we can be talk against the Britain. We can get the things, we can get the solution from the British like that they were thought. Okay, so the moderate methods, the moderate leaders' methods, it was totally failed. Is failed in the British attitude towards the moderate demands of early Indian nationalists. So they were criticized. Okay, how they were criticized? The extremist people, Tivravadigal. Okay, so the extremist people, how they were criticized, the moderates in the sense political mendicancy. In your book, it is not given, children. The extremists described the moderates as political mendicancy. What is meant by mendicancy? In the sense of begging. Okay, mendicancy, what is the meaning? Begging. Yes, political mendicancy, like that they were criticized. So instead of prayers and petitions, these militants were more focused on self-help. Okay, then next what is given? Yes, next what is given in the sense under that 7.5 it is given, children, is a partition of Bengal. So this person, this he was the viceroy. Why I am telling this person as a viceroy? In the sense after 1858, okay, 1857 revolt was there, no? The next year 1858, Queen Victoria proclaimed that hereafter, no Governor General was there. Okay, so there was no post of Governor General, only Viceroy of India. So this man only, he was the first Viceroy of India as well as last Governor General of India. Okay, so Lord Curzon, this personality, he was the last Governor General. Yes, last Governor General. At the same time, he was the first Viceroy of India. This person, what mistake he made? In the sense, he partitioned Bengal. What is meant by partition? Yes, he divided Bengal into two. Bengal area in the sense, and nowadays we are learning now West Bengal. Yes, West Bengal area we are learning now. So that Bengal only I am telling is Lord Curzon. He divided the Bengal into two, East Bengal and West Bengal. Okay, initial stage, how he told in the sense, what he told in the sense, for the administrative convenience, I am dividing the Bengal into two, like that he told. But actually, what was the reason? In the sense, he divided the Hindus and the Muslims. He divided the Hindus and Muslims. Sorry. Children, it is given here, partition of Bengal, which year it was occurred? In the sense 1905. Yes, partition of Bengal in the year 1905 it was occurred. It was the most unpopular. Yes, so unpopular. He thought, I can divide the Hindus as well as the Muslims. But, the partition of Bengal, it unites the Hindus and the Muslims. Okay. The partition led to widespread protest. So he announced that afterwards, the countrywide Hartal was there. Yes, a Hartal in the sun strike. Okay, the countrywide Hartal was there. Widespread protest all across India, starting a new phase of Indian national movement. The idea of partition, no one liked. It was devised to suppress the political activities against the British rule in Bengal. By creating Hindu and Muslim divide. Yes, he divided Hindus and Muslims. Then Hindu and Muslim divide, it is given, children. Yes, what are the things are there in the sense, just before I told, it was openly stated that the objective in the sense, aim of the partition was to curtail. What is mean by curtail? Yes, what is mean by curtail, children? Curtail in the sense, that reduce in extent. Reduce in extent. The Bengali speaking people as well as the Muslims, usually they used to speak only in Urdu language. Is it? So Bengali, he divided the Bengali speaking people as well as Urdu speaking people. That is, Hindus and Muslims. Okay, by placing Bengal under two administrative units, Karsan reduced the Bengali speaking people to a linguistic minority in a divided Bengal. So Karsan assured Muslims, what he assured in the sense, Muslims, in the new provinces, of East Bengal, how he divided East Bengal fully Muslims, West Bengal fully Hindus, like that this person divided, this viceroy. Okay, so what he declared in the sense, a new province East Bengal Muslims, would enjoy a unity. So hereafter only they are going to enjoy a unity which they never ever enjoyed since the days of Mughals. So Mughals time even they did not enjoy such a unity. Now only they are going to enjoy the unity, like that. Who told? So this viceroy, Lord Curzon. Okay, so instead of dividing the Bengali people along the religious line, partition united them. That was a miracle. See, this person thought that to separate the people, separate the Hindus and Muslims, but his plan, united the Hindus and Muslims. The growth of regional language newspapers. So which one played very important role? The regional newspapers played a very important role in building a sense of proud Bengali identity. Okay, so it is given, children, is in the page number 83. It is given, you can check it. Some of the children in between, they were entering into the class, and moreover they were asking which page number, which lesson is going on, like that. Okay, please avoid that. Okay, yeah. So then B part, what are the things are given in the sense, anti-partition movement. What does mean by anti? Anti in the sense against the partition movement. Against the partition movement, what are the things are happened? Hartal was there. Yes, a hartal in the sense strike, just before I told, is it? So here what is given, with the failure to annul. What is mean by annul? Invalid in the sense there is no value for the chelladu, that is the meaning. So with the failure to annul the partition, moderate leaders were forced to think, because moderate leaders till they have the they had the idea of giving the petition, through appeal we can, through the letters we can solve the problem, like that they were thought. So now they were forced to rethink their strategy, to look for new techniques of protest. Okay, the boycott. So that time only the Indian leaders, mainly the Congress leaders, they took the policy of boycott. What is mean by boycott? In the sense neglect. Okay, boycott, and what is the meaning? Purakanigirathu. Okay, so neglecting the British goods was one such method. So moderate leaders, they were boycotted the British goods. However, the agenda of a Swadeshi movement was still restricted to secure an annulment. What is meaning annulment? The same thing, invalid annulment of partition. And the moderates were very much against utilizing the campaign. The moderates, started to lead the march, led the procession, led the, march in the sense of urvalam. Yes, campaign, poratam. Okay, so that's a thing. Okay, against the British. The militant nationalist, on the other hand, in favor of extending movement beyond the Bengal and to initiate the full-scale mass struggle. So extremist people, what they did in the sense, the moderate people, they were conducted the number of meetings against the British attitude. At the same time, the militant people, they were raised their voice against the Britain. Okay, against the Britain. Yes. Next, the day Bengal was officially, this person, Lord Curzon, he announced the partition of Bengal on October 16, 1905. Very, very important date was declared as the day of mourning. What is the meaning of mourning? Tukka naalaga arivikkapattadu. That is the meaning. Okay, day, which day? 1965 on October 16. Thousands of people took bath in Ganga river and marched on the streets of Calcutta singing Bande Mataram. Bande Mataram. Like that they were raised their voice. Who? Indians. Okay. So then boycott in the sense of neglecting the British goods as well as the Sudesi movement in Bengal. Okay, so boycott in the sense of 1905. 1905 only the Lord Curzon, Viceroy of India, at that time, he announced the partition of Bengal. Yes, so 1905 it was happened. The boycott of Sudesi. Boycott and Sudesi were always interlinked. Boycott in the sense, what is the meaning? Neglect of British goods. At the same time, Sudesi, what is the meaning? By one's own country. India for Indians. We must buy Indian clothes. Yes, that is the meaning. Okay, then it's a wider plan to make India as a self-sufficient one. 4 major trends were there. Yes, 4 major trends. What are the trends are there in the sense, that moderate trend, constructive Sudesi, militant nationalism, revolutionary terrorism. So these 4 headings are there. Under this, some headings, they were given. Yes, you can check the pictures also. This is the Sudesi movement, one's own country, India for Indians. We have to buy Indian goods only. Yes, so that is the thing. That cloths, cotton cloths only we must buy. Yes, that also should be prepared by Indians. Okay, that things only how to buy. That's the meaning. Then constructive Sudesi. See, constructive Sudesi programs largely stressed upon self-help. Okay, largely stressed upon the self-help. It focused on buildings. It focused on buildings, alternative institutions of self-governance that would operate. Yes, that would operate free of British control. So Sudesi shops. Yes, here very few shops are there. Foreign goods and all available like that. Very few shops are there. Yes, so here full and full Swadeshi shops opened. Okay, so what are the areas? Sprang all over the places selling textiles. So we people, Indians, started to sell the textiles, handlooms, soaps, earthenware, matchboxes and leather goods, everything, the Indians were started to prepare. Okay, so that's a thing. Then under the heading of passive resistance, what other things are there? Passive resistance in the sense, from 1906, the Sudesi movement took a turn. Passive resistance in the sense, what is the meaning? Indirect agitation. Indirect agitation. Indirectly, they were agitated against the British. Okay, so, the Sudesi program included 4 points. Boycott of foreign goods, neglected the foreign goods. Then, boycott of government schools and colleges. Okay, so government schools, colleges and all, Indians were neglected because it's, that's a British government schools, that's what it's. So titles, honors, everything, government services, no one moved to the offices, no one go to the schools, colleges, everything, legislatures, everything, they were neglected. Okay, so the Sudesi industries, national schools, recourse to armed struggle if British repression went beyond the limits of endurance. Yes, limits of endurance. What is the meaning? Toleration. Yes, endurance. What is the meaning? Toleration. So that's the meaning. The next one, under that militant nationalism, what are the things are there in the sense? Militant people, who are they? Yes, the 3 people. Yes, who are they in the sense? Lala Lajpati Rai, Bala Gangadhar Tilak, and Bipin Chandra Pal. Yes, these 3 leaders, they were considered as the militant leaders, otherwise extremist leaders. Lal, Bal, Pal. Lala Lajpati Rai, Bala Gangadhar Tilak, and Bipin Chandra Pal. Yes, here it is given as a triumvirate like that, mover. That is the meaning. Punjab, Bengal and Maharashtra emerged as the heartbeat of militant nationalism during the Sudesi movement. Okay, at the same time in South India, yes, especially the district of Tuticorin. Okay, Tuticorin district, who was there in the sense? Sudesi Steam Navigation Company, which was started by V.O. Chidambaranar. Yes, in Tuticorin district. Listen carefully, children. In South India, Tuticorin district, it became the most important location of Sudesi activity. Yes, this person, he purchased a Sudesi steam navigation company by whom? V.O. Chidambaram Pillai, otherwise V.O. Chidambaranar. Okay, and the next, what is given in the sense of photo is given, I think so. The Lala Lajapati Rai photo is given, children. This personality is, okay, so this personality is only Lala Lajapati Rai. Lala Lajapati Rai, this person, Bala Gangadhar Tilak. Tilak, what was the slogan of Tilak in the sense? Swaraj is my birthright. Swaraj is my birthright and I shall have it. Okay, like that, who told in the sense? Bala Gangadhar Tilak told. Okay, so Swaraj is my birthright and I shall have it, like that. Bala Gangadhar Tilak, he told, so against the British. So this personality, Pipin Chandra Pal. Okay, the next what is given? Okay, Swaraj. Yes, next what is given in the sense under that 7.6 it is given, children. Yes, previously what is given in the sense Swaraj or political independence. One of the common goals of the extremist leaders was to achieve self-rule. Swaraj, what is the meaning? Self-rule. Okay, so however the leaders differed. Okay, so leaders' ideas it might have differed from one another. Okay, for Tilak, Swaraj was the attainment of complete autonomy. Autonomy, what is the meaning? Independence. Sorry, and total freedom from foreign rule. Yes, under that 7.6 what is given, children, that home rule movement, it was started by Tilak, yes, Lokmanya Tilak and Mrs. Annie Besant Tilak, he was started the home rule movement in Mumbai. Okay, Bombay, not Mumbai, Bombay. That time they were called as Bombay. Okay, at the same time, Mrs. Annie Besant, she started the home rule movement at Adayar in Chennai. Okay, at Adayar in Chennai. Okay, so that's the thing. Then Indian National Congress, this movement, was revived and also radicalized. Radicalized in the sense of change, otherwise action. Totally they were changed that action during the home rule movement led by, so it's given is Tilak as well as Annie Besant. When it was started in the sense during the time of the First World War, without the consultation of the Congress leaders, Indians were dragged into the war. Okay, Indians were dragged into the World War. Yes, who was responsible? One, Viceroy was responsible, as namely Lord Linlithgow. Okay, it is not given here. Okay, Lord Linlithgow was responsible for dragged the Indians during the time of the First World War. But what they thought in the sense, Indian National Congress leaders, okay, after the completion of the World War, we may get independence, we may get self-rule, like that, they thought. Okay, but it was a failure. So, okay, so which movement was started in the sense, home rule movement was started. Okay, to insist the British, otherwise to get the self-rule, in order to get the independence, okay, home rule movement was started by Mrs. Annie Besant. Okay, children, yes. So here what is given is, I told not, so those things only given. The next, it was hoped that in return, just before I told, the British government would give the self-government after the war. Yes. So, but what was seen as British people betrayal in the sense, what is the meaning? Already I told many times, Nambikai Drogam to the Indian cause of the self-government led to the fresh call for a mass movement to pressurize the British government. So, in order to pressure the British government, she started the Home Rule movement. What are the objectives are there in the sense? That's a 2-mark answer. To attain self-government. Within the British Empire by using constitutional means. Yes, by using the constitutional means, we need to get the independence. That's the first point. Second one, status of dominion. Okay, what is meant by dominion? The sense, Tani Togudi Andastu. Okay, so that one have to get. Okay, political position accorded later to Australia, Canada, the South Africa and New Zealand. The next one, to use non-violent constitutional methods to achieve their goals. To use non-violent constitutional methods to achieve their goals. What was their goal? Need to get the independence from the British rule. So these are the objectives of the Home Rule movement. The next, what is given, this is the, Lucknow Pact. Lucknow Pact, what is that in the sense? 1907, just before I told 1907, in Surat conference that, the Congress was divided into two, like that I said, moderates as well as extremists, like that I told. Is it? So they have, they had number of opinions, okay, difference of opinions they had. Okay, so the Congress people as well as the Muslims, they had a number of difference of opinion. Okay, difference of opinion. So that one, everything ended in the Lucknow Pact. Okay, during the time of the 1916. Okay, so the conflict in between, the fight in between the Congress as well as the Muslims came to an end. So that's what this is the picture. So this picture, described like that. The Home Rule movement and the subsequent reunion of moderates as well as the militant nationalists opened the possibility of fresh talks with the Muslims. Okay, they were joined together, Muslims as well as the Congress people. So under the Lucknow Pact, the Congress and the Muslim League agreed that there should be a self-government in India as soon as possible. So which year it was happened? 1916. Actually 1947 only we got independence. But in 1916 itself, in the Lucknow Pact, they were decided soon we are going to get the independence. In return, Congress people, what they did, they were accepted the concept of the separate electorate. Because Muslims, they were asked the separate electorates. Okay, separate electorate, what is the meaning in the sense? Thani Togudi Vendum. Okay, so that's something. Okay, so they were accepted. The Congress people accepted the separate electorate for Muslims. So the last one, what is given? The British response. How they were responded? The British people asked the demand. Okay, asked the demand for Swaraj. Swaraj in the sense self-government was raised by two people, Tilak, Lokmanya Tilak as well as Annie Besant. Okay, Annie Besant, that gained the popularity. The British people used the same old ploy. Ploy, what is the meaning? Ploy in the sense a cunning plan. As the British people, they are the cunning persons. Okay, to isolate the leaders. Again, they had a plan to isolate in the sense separate the leaders by repressing their activities. So, in the year 1919, what they did in the sense, the British government, they were passed the Montagu-Chelmsford Reforms Act. Okay, Montagu-Chelmsford Reforms Act, they were passed. So, on the basis of that, what they told in the sense, step by step, we will give the independence to India. Step by step. Okay, so I am telling step by step like that. But in your book, what is given? Gradual progress of India towards self-government, like that it is given. This caused deep disappointment to the Indian nationalists. Okay, moreover, the Indians, they should not open their mouth. That's what. Next, one more act also they were passed. Rowlatt Act. Rowlatt Act in the year 1919. It was passed by the British government. On the basis of the act, the Indians, the Indians were trial. Yes, without trial. Without trial, yes, they can arrest the Indians. Without a trial. Visarikamale, we need to go to the jail. Okay, so such a law and all they brought. That was the, which act? Rowlatt Act. Rowlatt Act, which provided for arbitrary arrest. What is mean by arbitrary arrest? In the sense, without trial, T-R-I-A-L, trial. Without trial, Indians can arrest at any times. Okay, so that was the Rowlatt Act, and strict punishments also they brought. Okay, the British people. The next class, next lesson, continuation is there. Okay, so we can learn in that. So this much only it is given. We can mark the question answers, children. Okay, we can mark the question answers. So 5 to answer, we have to mark. 5 Roman letter 5 we have to mark, I think so. Third one, third answer, Third answer, you can use the guide and then learn. Okay, the fourth answer I am telling children, objectives in the sense, so page number 84 it is given, page number 84 it is given children. 3 points are there, objectives of the home rule movement you can learn. Then same page number 84, sorry, not same page, 85, page number 85, Lucknow Pact is there. Okay, Lucknow Pact, it's very easy children. The first para, second line, under the onwards till Muslims, that is the 5-6 answer. Okay, 5-6 answer. So moreover, in the essay part also, I am not satisfied because in the guide, it's points and given clearly. The second question, already we marked the first question, the last class itself, we can mark that. The last class, we marked the first question. Okay, second question, you can mark the guide by using the guide. Otherwise, those who not have that guide, you can learn page number 83, anti-partition movement. Anti-partition movement. Para, 2 paras are there, no? The true para also, because without you should understand, no? That's what I told. Some points are missing here. In the guide, point by point it is given. Okay, so best you can follow the guide. Those who not have the guide, you can check page number 83 and then learn. Okay children, thank you. Moreover, the homework portion, which lesson you learned in the sense, that the 6th lesson I gave, I think so. Last 6th lesson, that history part 6th lesson. 6th lesson completed in the sense. 7th lesson, choose the best answer, match the following, assertion answer, as well as 2 mark. You can learn. Okay children, utilize the time for learning. Thank you very much.